Hello, viewer. Welcome back to some more Let's Play the Occult Chronicles. Hey! There was some concern that this game would not visit the channel this year in the form of very serious health issues, which have cropped up for me at the end of last year and kind of carried on throughout the rest of this 2024 season now, or year, season, every season so far. And then there's been some issues with my ability to get OBS to record it, but I think everything is now working. And we can go ahead and create our detective, a member of the Occult Defense Directorate, and get them into the mansion to begin exploring it and bringing an end to whatever it is that is plaguing the lands around it. In case you don't remember what type of game this is, or this is the first time you're seeing this on the channel, this is a roguelike game. We create a character, they go into a mansion, they encounter various ghosts and other supernatural entities, the forms of perchance demons, Cthulhu-esque type creatures. Sometimes humorous things will show up. There's plenty of nods to pulp culture and some funny references within the game as well. It doesn't take itself too seriously. And traps. We gotta survive all of them, make agreements with various things, and proceed onward to get our character leveled up until we're ready to go into the basement, which is where whatever it is that is plaguing the mansion will be located on level 2. And with that said, let's get going. In case this is the first time we're seeing this game, I will cover what we're doing and why we're doing it as we play, as I often do when we begin encountering these things, because we only play this once a year, so it doesn't surprise me if you don't remember how the game works or something of the sort. This game, alas, viewer, is also no longer available. Cryptic Comet shut their doors down, I think it was 1.5 years or 2 years ago. So alas, if you do like what you see, it is not possible to acquire this game any longer. Okay, so with all that said, I'm going to put a break here, because finally, after about 20 attempts, it's recorded. Now, and then we'll hit new game and create our detective. So give me a few seconds. Alright guys, hello. Let's go ahead and make our character. First thing we have to do is choose which scenario we want to do. They're not only themed around a particular type of antagonist, but they also have increasing levels of difficulty, with the Key in the Gate being the easiest one to do, and Forbidden Knowledge being the most difficult one to complete. Oh, sorry, nope, the Pact being the most difficult one to complete. Normally, we do the Elder, and sometimes we do the Key in the Gate. I think last year we did In the Belly of the Beast. So, I think this year, we'll actually do Strange Lights. I haven't done this one in a long while. And so maybe you guys haven't seen the antagonist that we are facing off against here. So let's go ahead and give this a go. Reports of weird lights in the sky, missing livestock, strange crop circles, and pilfering from local industrial facilities have prompted the Odd to send out a recon team to investigate. That team consists solely of you. Once again, you have drawn the short end of the stick. While most of your fellow agents are away on Operation Clendathu, you have to do the thankless grunt work in the field. Your assignment is to visit the long-abandoned Hynek house and report any suspicious or unusual findings. We have to choose how fast we want the Doom Clock to progress. If we cannot find and defeat the final encounter by the time the last story token is drawn, our game ends in failure. I do like having this present, because I like the feeling of the pressure of that Doom Clock token being drawn. It's also fun to end each video when we get another Doom Clock token drawn. But we could disable it, but not this year. We will play on slow. For the difficulty, I can't imagine playing this game on any difficulty higher than Agent. I would love to play on Recruit, but we're not going to. We'll stick on Agent for you guys at home who like watching me suffer. So, Agent difficulty for us. And we will play on Reaper mode. Reaper mode is Iron Man mode. It also means that if our character dies, we are dead. In the normal game mode, if your character dies, which is to say that their sanity or life get reduced to 0, or they get hit by an instant death trap, you are instead sent to the beginning of the mansion, at the entryway again, just as what would happen if you created a new character. But your character will keep most of what they had, I think everything actually, and they'll have their sanity and health set to a starting value again. But it doesn't reset the story tokens, so if the last story token is still drawn, you're dead permanently at that point. So Reaper for us. Alright, we gotta make a character. This is a new computer, by the way, everyone, so I don't have any scoreboard any longer from the prior years. So we should probably look to getting our original characters recreated, wherever they were, and get them in here again. I'm thinking we'll play Dr. Whom, a scientist type of character that I think I've made in the past. So I don't remember the build that I used for him. We'll choose this looking character. Let's go ahead and select a background. It's going to be one of these three. So I guess we'll choose Professor. That sounds very, well, Dr. Whomish. You had a distinguished academic career and were a department chair at an elite university. But that all ended when your studies led you into the twisted warrens of the occult. Your colleagues soon called you a quack and ostracized you. The odd values of research and theories, but sadly no one else will ever know you were right. We get a bone of wands, which means we can use psychic powers if we get any. We could also use heroic intellect feats. We get a random puzzle lore or perception edge. We start with a random intellect heroic feat. We get a wands item of some sort. These are generally used to help you deal with puzzles or something of the sort, or they could be miscellaneous, like a lantern or something. They will often, but not always, improve your wand's stat by 1 point. And we get a random fire talisman. I think fire is what shows up when you fail intellect challenges. We also get +1 wands to our starting stat. Okay, we get a starting bone. So at this point, I need to explain how I make my characters when I play this game. This game makes it difficult for you to make a balanced character unless you prep for it at the very beginning of the game. Because when you level up at certain points, you'll be able to choose a new type of character focus sheet or template. These templates or sheets are what you're able to spend experience points on to increase your stats, give you special abilities, and grab bones. Bones are dice. If you do not have a bone of a certain type, you cannot use things of that type. You don't have a bone of swords, then you're not swinging melee weapons. You don't have a bone of cups, then you're not going to be using feats that involve you dodging. You don't have pentacles, you're not casting spells. You don't have wands, you're not using intellect-related feats. As such, I plan in advance for which thing I don't intend to take, and take things that I would shore up my weaknesses. So to that end, I think this Dr. Whom will not be doing much spell casting, or at least I'm not intending to take anything that would allow him to do so. We will still cast spells, likely, and if we get the Magician Arcana card, that will really shore up our weakness, but we can't be guaranteed of that. In any case, I'm going to choose a bone of pentacles because I'm not going to be choosing a level up card, or sheet, whatever it's called, that would allow me to purchase one of these. Next, we get a starting edge, a guaranteed one that we can pick. I think we're going to go for something that is a bit miscellaneous. Let's choose Polyglot. Polyglot. X is subtracted from the target level of any persuasion or deception edge, where a challenge, sorry, not edge, where X is the level of the edge. So if this was level 4, it would be 4 levels easier to complete the challenge. Now, the game has that auto balancer, which kind of nullifies this. I don't know why that's in the game. It really, in my opinion, ruins how you play the game, or makes it much more difficult for you to feel the power of your character increasing, because the game just increases its difficulty as you get stronger. But whatever, we're gonna choose it anyway. Now for a character build. Now I always build the characters the same way, if I recall correctly. 2 points in all starting statistics. And then we choose one that gets a 3rd point, and that 3rd point stat is the thing I don't intend on leveling manually as we play the game. That would be pentacles. because we're not going to be choosing something that gives us a Bone of Pentacles, which means we're not choosing any spells casting upgrades for us. With 3 points remaining, it's not enough to increase any of our stats, so we will level Sanity twice, Health once, and this is our character. Alright, let's get going. I find it important to make a balanced character in this game, viewer, because whatever you don't level, if you leave something at 2, you're going to, oh man, some of the later, some of the things will have trouble. So viewer, the game's also got problems. Sometimes this happens, which is a bug, which can occur at any point in the game and make us have to replay from where we left off. In this case, it's creating character. How about that? How about that? Alright, so I'm going to stop the recording and be right back. Okay, I knew it worked because I did load into the game once to verify that it loaded. So, guess now we have to address this really quick. This is a modded version of the game. I have spent some time adding new options to various encounters throughout the game to ensure that if you are a spellcaster, you have spellcaster options for dealing with some of the encounters that you meet, for example. But I did not do this to every single encounter. That would have taken way too long. But I did still do it. I also tried to balance the game a little bit by adding new options to certain rewards, but I stripped all those out when I was panicking because of a script error that was occurring at some points in the game. It turns out this script error, one of them that can occur, is because of... you guys don't really care. You guys don't care. Let's just say that this error is in the game normally, and I just had it occur more frequently by freeing up some additional growth for edge upgrades. There are other script errors that can occur. I don't know what to tell you, viewer. The game's buggy. There you have it. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. Oh my goodness, W makes me walk forward. We could have died immediately. Is it the arrow keys? Arrow keys move my camera around. Oh my god. Holy crap. Alright, well, welcome to the game. Let's take a look around, look at our character, what equipment they have, and then we'll get going. That was... we could have died right there. Okay, so... first off, we've gained an item that gives us +1 wands, because our wands start is 4, not 2. It looks like we gained 2 things that gives us +1 wands for items, or something of that sort. No. An item gives us +1, and our starting background gives us +1 wand. Okay, so... what do we got? Let's take a peek. Flash of Genius is our heroic feat that we earned. Roll 1 bone, so that's a 6-sided dice, and then select a not revealed trick card, so a card that's face down, and reveal it. If this revealed card is a face card, then add 2 times X to your trick points taken score, where X is the number of wands rolled, then draw a card. Puzzle, lore, and perception. So this means we want to take something that improves our ability to see those face down cards, so we can be guaranteed to get free points by doing this. We'll try to use this more often, and I'll explain it when we actually get it better when we get a chance to actually utilize it. We have a toolkit, which gives us +1 wands, and we have to roll a wands bone to use it. Roll 1 bone, and then we select 1 revealed non-face trick card, and bump its card value down -X, where X is the number of wands rolled, used in lock, repair, and technology rolls. We have 4 wands, we're likely to be able to succeed at this. Remember, viewers, well, hold on. Nope, I'm not going to do too much babbling. You guys want to see me play the game. What edges do we have? Research Expedition Leader. Oh, well, it's a good thing they put us on this mission, then. At the beginning of any puzzle, lore, perception challenge, X random tricks placed on the board are in a scryed visible state. We're X level of the edge. Hey, that's very nice. That plays very well with Flash of Genius, right? It does. Wow. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, viewer, is go right back to the main menu. Dr. Wom. Yep, that's fine. Oh, I can't use docs. Dr. Wom. This is because the game, and so in Reaper mode, the game doesn't save what's happening to you when you take steps, or at the end of every one of your actions or turns. It only saves the game when you go back to the main menu. And as such, we have got a great character. I'd hate for that, or rather, we have potentially good character. I'd hate for that script error to pop up again and make me have to recreate this character, which will never get that edge combo with that intellect feat again. Alright, so, with all that said, we're ready to go. Oh, are we? Let's explain a few more things in case you guys have forgotten. Here's our Wand's Talisman. 100% chance to appear, 10% release chance, as you guys can see. And these are our story tokens. We have none drawn so far. Let's get going. Oh, why was this dangerous? There is often a vent which transpires here, a trap around this pit, which is the falling chandelier. And if that falls on top of you, you fall into the basement. And the basement is not where you want to be if you haven't leveled at all. You're as good as doomed if you end up there. You could potentially end up with something with a good item, but it's a real nightmare to be down there at the start of the game, so we want to avoid this at all costs. We also want to stick to the lower floor at the moment. Lower floor? The ground floor. This is where encounters are the easiest for us at this part of the game. A strange locked door. Let's take a look at it. You see a large locked door with a grotesque stone or ceramic arm protruding from its center. There is no sign of a keyhole anywhere. Inspecting the arm closer, you notice that it looks poised to offer you an arm wrestle. Indeed, the arm looks like it might rotate on the wall. Perhaps wrestling it would offer access to what lies beyond. We could attempt to pick the lock, but our chances aren't fantastic yet. So I guess we should explain this too. So we'll do a little bit of explaining the first time we encounter things. So these symbols down here are showing you what the difficulty will be, what the tricks are, and what the draw is. And they're all based on the stats you have over here. So the difficulty will be based on our wands, the tricks on our cups, and the draw on our wands for this. There is some modification which occurs to these difficulties. They're inside a file listed at a certain base value. But then the game looks at how well you're doing. Health, sanity, your stats, these all play a role in that. And it might modify these values by increasing them or decreasing them. We might have only been allowed to draw one trick, or draw one card, for example, because the game feels we're doing too well. I hate that. I hate that. You'll hear me say that quite often. In any case, I don't think we're ready for either of these, so I'm going to pass on this. Yeah, okay. Let's check this door. Another hallway. So this must be a room of some sort. Looks like there was a body on this at some point. This looks like a billiards table to me that's been covered. And we have an encounter directly on the other side. So this could be something we're forced to fight, but it is likely not to be. I don't remember what's inside this room as a more or less guaranteed event. So I'm going to... well, I guess we might as well start somewhere, Tim. Might as well start somewhere. Let's step into this. A ghost suddenly materializes in front of you. It's dressed as if it stepped out of a safari on the Serengeti. It lowers its large caliber big game rifle at you and seems to be considering you closely. You don't know which is scarier, the ghost or the ethereal gun. Okay, so this is the first time we are encountering this encounter. Whenever you encounter, well, the first time, you must pass a horror check. The first time you encounter a hostile roaming monster, you must also pass a horror check for it. After that, you will not have to pass a horror check again, success or failure. Horror checks will lower your sanity as well if you fail them, with a chance to do some bad things to you, depending upon where you are in the game, lengthwise, time-wise. Anyway, let's try to resist this horror check. Horror checks will use our wands and pentacles to make the determination as to what we get up here. And here's the game. I don't remember if the cards are placed on the table first or we draw cards first. I think they're placed on the table first. It only matters because if, well, I'm not going to make much sense with why it matters. Let's just say that I just don't remember what happens first. In any case, we now must flip cards over on the board, and then we must match different suits with what we have in our hand. Our objective is to earn 4 or more points to win this challenge. When we flip over a card, if we possess a card of a matching suit, we must play that card. We have a choice of cards to play. If this was an 8 of Pentacles, we could play any of these cards, for example. Our Ace of... if this was an 8 of Wands, which it wouldn't be, but let's pretend it was an 8 of Wands, we could play the Ace of Wands in our hand, for example. We must have an equal to or greater value in our hand to that of what is on the board. The cards you draw are from the same deck. There isn't a separate draw deck from the trick deck. So that means if we see this 8 of Pentacles here, it means that we would not have been able to draw an 8 of Pentacles in our hand. In any case, when you take a card, you earn the points for that card, and the card you use to take the card. Numbered cards are always worth 1 point. So when we place our 9 on this 8, we will earn 2 points. We must do this, or we're not allowed to flip over another card. We have the option to use items, abilities, feats, and what have you if we had anything that would be used to resist or help us with this horror check, but we don't. We could also just immediately fail the challenge if we're like, we're not going to win this, let's just give up and just move on, if you want to save a little bit of time. Alright, let's flip over another card. Queen of Pentacles. Good thing we didn't draw this first. We would have had to place our 9 there, and then we couldn't have taken the 8. A 6 of Wands. We'll play our 8. And we've won the challenge. We've met or equal to the target number. That said, there is no reason not to keep flipping cards over. The better you do, the more reward cards you'll flip over in the result phase of a encounter. And nothing else that we could match. Your mind is strong. You stand up straight and play the alpha male. That's something this ghost will understand. So because we matched the number, we get to flip over 2 of these cards. And we earned nothing, which is what will occur most of the time. The ghostly big game hunter squints at you like he is sizing you up for his trophy wall. There is a taint to him. You suspect he once brushed elbows with a witch doctor. You both stand there in a sort of ghostly standoff, waiting for the other to make the first move. We can fight him, or we can run from him. So, many of the encounters in the game actually are quests, but until you have about, well, I think you need a certain level of pentacles, cups, or wands in order to get the quest from the event. We do not have what this event wants us to have in order to talk with this guy, which we normally can do. The game doesn't tell you you're able to do that, by the way, but I know you can. As such, we can fight him, or we can flee from him. I would like to get the starting quests, so we're going to just run away. With a little luck, this ghost is focused on this location and won't be able to leave. Now this involves cups and swords, which we don't have much of, but we'll still give it a go. And we win. Now, most of the time, you want to keep playing the game and earn more points here. In fact, we can, I guess, do that. Oh, okay, well, we didn't win anything anyway. You channel your fear into your survival instinct and run as fast as your feet will take you. Now, there is something, though, about flee checks. When you run from an encounter, the only thing you can possibly gain from these cards are loss of courage cards, which means you lose courage points. It's an awful thing to put into a game. You won the flee challenge. You should get something from it if you're playing a flee character. As such, you will never see me flip over any card from a fleeing challenge, because the only thing that could possibly be up here are bad results. Okay. Now, we'll never have to pass a horror check if we walk back here again in the future to try to get this guy's quest. But also note that we stepped back from fleeing this ghost. If we had earned a few more points during the flee challenge, we could have stayed at this spot instead of moving backwards. Some sort of storage room. Tool room, according to the text that pops up here. A clue. So our objective is to get down to the final encounter in the basement and best it, whatever it is. Around in the mansion, there are, I believe, 7 total clue tokens, with I think 2 or 3 on the ground floor, 1 on the second, 1 in the attic, 1 in basement level 1, and a really nice one, I think in basement level 2 or 3. You can find something rather unique themed to this particular scenario. It's why you see me walking around in all these spaces. I'm looking to see if we can find clue tokens, as they will make the final challenge easier. So we picked up one that says -1 target level. You find a torn fragment of a strange yellow fabric covered in a glowing green liquid. It almost looks like blood. It lowers the difficulty of the final challenge by 1 level. It's not going to matter, because by the time, if we get down there, the game's going to increase the level by, like, +10. But whatever. I guess it's a chance of actually making the encounter a little easier. Probably won't happen, though. The Weeping Wall. You see a section of wall whose plaster long ago began to peel away. However, something doesn't seem quite right. Your eyes catch the faintest glimmer of reflected light from some pattern on the wall. You could swear that you hear the faint beating of a heart. Suddenly you realize that the wall is weeping blood, and then you feel an unspeakable evil presence try to embrace you. You struggle to maintain your composure as you feel a building desire to scream grab a hold of you. The blood trickles down the wall, and the patterns sicken you, but the real danger here is something buried within the wall. It's evil, and it's reaching out to you. You must fight to keep your sanity. It's an okay hand. We have a queen and a knight of wands and a page of cups. You always hear me, by the way, read the good cards I have in my hand and sometimes the bad ones, because I assume most of you guys are probably just listening to this or have it on in the background. Ooh, oh, not looking good for us. Oh, looking good for us. We can take the 10 with the queen. Alright, so let's explain the logic behind what I do. We got 2 unrevealed trick cards left. The odds of them being a wands card is not very good at this point, and I don't want to lose a horror check. So, what are our options? We have a queen and a knight of wands, which are higher than the 10. Well, we could play the knight of wands, but both the queen and knight both take everything lower than it. The only thing here that would be, like, there's no reason not to play the queen, because if there's a page up here, which is lower than a knight, the knight can take the page. Holding the queen, using the queen to take the page doesn't give you anything else. And if one of these is the king of wands, we're forced to play like the 4. Well, why we hold on to one of these these cards then? So we're gonna play the queen to win this challenge. I hope that made sense. Basically, if we had a page and a king of wands, maybe we would want to play the page, because if one of these was a queen or knight of wands, the king can take it, whereas the page could not. But here, with the 10, there's no reason not to play the queen if we want to take that card. We earn the most points from doing so. The queen takes everything below it. The knight takes everything below it. Play the queen. And an ace of wands. This is the last card, so we'll play the knight to earn the most points. Your will is stronger than the evil embedded in the wall. You fight back the building urge to scream in panic, and then relax as you master your fears. The wall weeps blood in pulsing rivulets. You can hear the faint beating sound, or perhaps you are merely imagining it. It mixes with the broken plaster and pools at the base of the wall, draining slowly between the cracks in the floor. You notice a large gash that seems like a laceration. There is something evil and malign pulsing within the wall. Some eldritch sorcery has left its taint here as well. You should proceed with caution. This is the objective of a quest. This one won't give us a quest. It's what we're supposed to go to after we have the quest for it. We can still try to get rid of it, but there's never a reason to do so. I guess I should say this as well. Trying to fight the encounters that you meet of this sort, when most of these encounters are quests related, are a bad option. There's never anything, if I remember the game files correctly, that you gain for doing this beyond you win, and here's some random stuff you get from winning. Things you would get from fighting most of the creatures that you would in the game. But the quests give you better rewards, or the potential of better rewards, rather than just fighting them off. So I will never, ever, or very rarely ever, destroy a quest, object, or giver in this game. So we're just going to leave it alone. You have a bad feeling about this. There is something in the wall that you should probably just avoid. Some encounters allow you to simply leave. Others you must flee from, as we saw with the big game hunter ghost. Most will let you just leave. Early game hallways are dangerous. This is where traps are located. Now we want to walk into this room and see if there's any other events. We have another event. Let's see what this one is. An apparition of death. You see a chessboard set up for the commencement of a game. Upon closer examination, you discover that the pieces are very strange. The black ones are carved out of some volcanic rock and seem to shift between normal pieces and twisted tentacled monsters. The white pieces, carved from alabaster, depict humans, armed with all manner of weapons. You could swear that you see a knight that resembles yourself. Suddenly, in the chair across the chessboard, a grim specter of death appears. Your eyes wide in disbelief as the apparition beckons you to sit and play. You must fight to keep your sanity. Lots of okay number cards and a King of Swords. We get the Ace of Swords. So here is an interesting choice. Do we play the King to immediately win the challenge? The Ace, by the way, is the least value card in this game. King is the highest. So we could take the Ace right away with our King and win. Or we could gamble that there's another Swords card out here and take this Ace with our 2. I'm going to take a gamble. Knight of Pentacles will play the 7. So when we lose an encounter, or rather when we flip over a trick card and we are forced to play a card that we can't win with that revealed trick, then I'm going to play the lowest valued card in my hand for that suit. So we've revealed a Knight of Pentacles, we have a 7 and a 10, we play the 7. Knight of Cups, Page of Wands, Knight of Swords. Our gamble paid off. So we can take the Knight with our King. Now the Knight's worth 2 points and the King's worth 4? No, the Knight's worth 3 points and the King's worth 5. So I think this earns us 8. Yep, up to 10. Number cards are worth 1 point, Page is worth 2, Knight's worth 3, Queen's worth 4, King's worth 5. Hey, and another 3 of Swords. Your mind is strong. You stare back at the apparition and even muster a nonchalant smile, which seems to amuse it. Guess we don't believe it exists. An edge upgrade! What the heck? We're gonna go save the game right after this. Normally, when you pass horror challenges, you get plus sanity. There is a chance you can get something better, but it's a very low chance. So I like seeing this very much. Edge upgrades are used to level our edges once, so we can make it so that we can get more scryed cards during puzzle, lore, or perception challenges, or make it so that our persuasion challenges are a little easier. I would rather have more scryed cards, so we'll grab a level to Research Expedition Leader. The Spectre startles you. You wonder if this is some type of trick or illusion. Could this be real? You can sense the currents of sorcery at work here, but just what the source is, you cannot be certain. It beckons you to sit across from it. The apparition motions to the board again, suggesting that you begin the game. This is a lore and puzzle challenge, so we would benefit from the increased scry, and our intellectual feat could be used here, but this is a very nasty challenge to lose, and I'd like to level myself up a little more before I commit to doing this. So we're just going to leave. Unlike your encounters with most other supernatural creatures, the Spectre of Death seems to have no problems with you leaving, and you feel perfectly free to do so. A line from a poem suddenly springs to mind. I have a rendezvous with death at some disputed barricade. Let's save the game. I don't want that script error to pop up. That is why I save all throughout the years, viewer. You'll see me sometimes go back to the main menu and play again. That script error is why I do that. Because if that happens, we lose all the progress. And I really don't want that to occur. Alright. We could check what's back here, but I don't think there's likely a clue token. And we'll be back here for these encounters later anyway. So we'll move on. A very fine sitting room. It's the lounge. Okay, let's explain the colors of these really quick. This blue or purplish or gray circle means I have not stepped there. Gray, it's gray. These yellow circles mean I have been there. These exclamation marks mean I've been there, it's an event, there it is. And I can hover over it to give me a quick summary of what those were. You see a locked wooden door. There's a worn keyhole right where it belongs, but no sign of a key anywhere. Well, we're going to leave it alone. Let's check out the event. You see a grizzled old man dressed in some grungy old robes. He seems aware of your presence, and he waves you forward. He introduces himself as the Alchemist. I notice that he is indeed surrounded by a menagerie of strange equipment. You wonder what on earth he is doing here in this mansion. He doesn't seem at all disturbed that you have dropped in on him. Well, we can beat him up, but I don't see why we would do that. He's a quest giver. We can also try to get the quest. We have an okay chance of getting this. The target difficulty is 1, so we just need 1 success. I guess we'll do this. You decide to engage the Alchemist in a little conversation to try to discover what he's up to. We have a King of Swords. If we can play that, that would be amazing to give us lots of points. We want to really succeed at this, like, amazingly well, because there's a good chance we get experience tokens upon doing so. King of Cups, first card. There goes our 8 of Cups. Page of Wands, Ace of Wands, 10 of Cups, 5 of Wands, a 2 of Pentacles. Viewer, the odds of this being a sword is miserable. And I don't want to win with just 1 point. I'm going to fail. You continue to make lots of small talk, but besides some pleasant smiles, he doesn't seem quite convinced about you. You feel like he is tossing something over in his mind. Why did I fail? I want more than 1 point over the target number. I really do. I don't want just 2. I want like 5. Difficulty is freaking 1. So I'm going to fail this challenge. Now, upon failing, we are forced to pick cards. It's not like when we win the Fleet Challenge and we have the option to pick cards. Nope, we must pick a number of cards before we're allowed to leave this screen. On this screen, where we fail some challenges, there will be our talisman. If we flip over that card, if there was something bad on the other side, the talisman prevents it from happening to us. But then, there's a chance we lose the talisman permanently. 10% chance whenever we flip it over. So I'm going to avoid flipping over the talisman card for this encounter. We now get a chance to do the encounter again, and it will be a little easier this time. Whenever you fail an encounter, odds are the game's going to make it a little easier. This is the balancer coming in. Be like, oh, you failed that. Oh, you know, I'll make it a little easier. Here's an extra card for you to draw, for example. Or maybe here's an extra trick card, or an extra -1 to the target level. Doesn't always do it. Sometimes it actually adds more than just 1. But I wish it wasn't here. In any case, let's do this again. A Knight of Swords and a Page of Swords. 10 of Swords. Okay. Am I playing this out? Yes, we will. Alright. 3 points over the target number. Now we're praying we can play the rest of these. 7 of Swords. Take that with our page. Knight of Wands. Queen of Pentacles. We can have our 3. 6 of Swords, 9 of Swords, 3 of Swords, lots of swords. Okay, well, that wasn't so bad. We won, and we are 6 points over the target number. He seems to size you up, and you get to the heart of the matter. He wants your help, and he's willing to help you in return. So, one of the cards that we get is the quest. No matter what, you will get a quest. It counts towards the number of picks you have available. Find the alchemist's papers. They are most likely hiding in plain sight. They are warded, so you need to be careful. We get 4 more picks, and there's a chance we could get some decent stuff from this. I think we'll flip over cards. I like flipping over cards that are near the quest revealed card, because I feel that there's a better, the odds of them being something good is higher than they are further away. That's not accurate. It's the same percentage chance for every single one, but I'm gonna do it. An experience token. Yes, young master. You will suffice, I think. I cannot leave this room because I cannot. I need my papers returned to me if I'm to complete this great work that I have set out to finish. My legacy, you see. He wants you to recover some papers that are nearby. The papers are warded, so you must speak the words of release when you find them. You can't remember exactly where. He mumbles some warning about competitors and sends you on your way. Okay, we earned our first experience token. Oh, that's interesting. Our background lets us increase our wands score, huh? I think we'll focus on that to start then. So here we go. Here we go. Let me explain how this works. So you can find experience tokens in the game. Each one of these, as you can see, requires a certain number of skill tokens for you to be able to get the reward that is listed here. I generally like improving a stat 1 point, and then I immediately go for a skill card next. We're going to improve our pentacles. I don't want our wands to be leveled yet, although 5 wands is very nice. It's early in the game. The game's going to look at my 5 points in a stat and be like, you're doing very well. Let's make the game much tougher for you. And increasing our pentacles, as you can see, plays nicely with other lore and perception edges, or puzzles. So, edges, challenges. So we're going to increase this first. I go for the skill cards next because these will give me options to improve my cups or swords stats, which is what I'm interested in doing as soon as possible. We have another encounter in this room. You've come up to a large bas-relief face mounted on the wall. Its features are worn and it looks quite old. As you stare at it, you start to feel uneasy. Suddenly you realize that the mouth is moving its lips ever so slightly, and then you hear the mumbling. It starts as a whisper, but you can't get it out of your head as it grows in intensity. If this keeps up, you are certain it will drive you insane. You fight to keep the mumblings from overwhelming your mind. You can't understand any of it, but the droning noises seem to want to burrow deep into your skull, and that can't be good. A very good hand. We never want to fail a horror challenge, so we might as well take that 7. And then we've won this horror challenge with a perfect score, in so much that we are 10 over the target number. Once you hit that value, there is no reason for you to continue to play, in so much that you cannot draw more cards than what we're going to be drawing, which I think is 7. That said, we'll keep going. You begin your own chant based on a Zen relaxation technique that you once learned in the Orient. It works to cancel out the mumbling and clears your mind of the pain. Yep. 7 is the highest number of cards you will pick from either a success or a failure. Lord have mercy on you if you're drawing 7 cards because of a failure. Most of the time, for horror challenges, your reward will be increased sanity. The face on the wall looks amiable, but you know otherwise. The lips continue to move, but the mumbling is barely audible. Examine the bas-relief more closely. Notice that there is a pictograph script of some sort disguised within the frieze that encircles the face. You sense eldritch sorcery at work here. The bas-relief could be enchanted or cursed, or merely serving as the physical nexus of some malevolent force. You realize that you should proceed with caution. This is the quest giver. For actually the bleeding wall that we passed earlier, it's really rare to find the quest giver and the quest target so close to each other. This could be really beneficial for doing this right away. What do we have as options? Listen to the mumbles. Dispel the sorcery. This is an attempt to fight this. You don't want to choose this. Decipher the pictograms, which might make this easier. it might not. It might actually make it tougher. I've had that happen once, which is really stupid. We could also just ignore it. But we got a decent chance of deciphering the pictographs. I think we'll do this. You decide to take a closer look at the strange pictograms hidden in the frieze that surrounds the bas-relief face. You think you recognize some of the symbols as variants of the Indus Valley seal stones. Perhaps you can decipher them. They might help you understand the strange mumbling, or perhaps even warn you of any danger from the eldritch sorcery that permeates the face. It's a lore or puzzle. Why do we have only one of them? At the beginning of any puzzle, lore, or perception challenge, X random tricks placed on the board or in a scryed state, where X is the level of the edge. Alright, it's busted! Oh, come on! I'm gonna say it. Many of Cryptic Comic or Vic Davis's games had glitches or bugs in them, and the script error was a nasty one. But this is another example of a problem, because I should have 2 of these cards in a scryed state, and I've got only 1. I suspect it just shows a random number of a trick card that's not revealed down here, or not present, and said, that's a scryed card. Well, it's not on the board, Vic. What am I supposed to do? Let me look at this again. Maybe I've read that wrong. This is a puzzle challenge, or a lore challenge. Is that correct? Can I tell that from here? I can't tell that from here. But I think that's what this is. I have a scryed card. I have nothing in my inventory that should give me another scryed card. So that's really frustrating. Alright, well. There's no reason for us to flip the 8 of swords. We only have a 4 of swords in our hand. So that's a dead end. Let's flip over other cards. Ace of swords. So we'll take this. We win the challenge. And we were able to use the 1 scryed card to our advantage. We knew that was a trap. Take it. Now we'll keep playing. Use our Queen of Wands on the 7 because we're committed to winning. 5 of Wands. 9 of Cups. We're 10 of a target number. We're drawing 7 cards at this point. And then at 10 of Pentacles. Now, it didn't matter in the end that we didn't have a second scryed card, but that's frustrating that that didn't work. That's very frustrating. All right. I would have chosen the other option had I known this wouldn't have worked that way. It's not level of the edge divided by 2, right? We'll take a look at that again. You step closer and examine the pictograms. They are indeed related to the seal stones of the Indus Valley. You piece together their meaning by recalling your training in the odd Lost Languages lab. The eldritch creature is known as, I can't pronounce that, and it has been bound to the face as punishment. Well, Six Mologath. The mumbling must be its attempts to communicate with you, unless it's Six Sykes Mologath. Can I look this up? I mean, I can look it up. Do we look it up? I'm gonna look it up. In all my years of playing this game, viewer, I have never looked this up. Six Mologath. Is that a thing? Nope. Internet has turned out 0 results, so it's a made-up name. Okay. 7 cards. Let's see. Or a fortune. There is a hidden stat that you do not see that always starts, to my knowledge, at 0. Luck. I can never remember exactly what luck does for you. It's either it increases the value of the rewards when you flip over a card and it grants you one, or it gives you a better chance of getting a reward. I don't think it does both. There's Oars of Fortune, which gives you +1 luck, and there's Ill Omens, which reduce your luck by 1. And +1 sanity. Okay, so this text didn't change at all. And this got much easier. We have a 1 wands now, instead of, I think this was a 4 or 5 before. Let's go ahead and try to complete the quest. Or that you must proceed with caution. You focus your mind and try to attune yourself to the rhythmic cadences that issue from the lips of the bas-relief. Perhaps something can be learned from what appears to be just dangerous gibberish. This is so frustrating, Vic. Your game is only giving me 1 scryed card when I should have a second. Why? X random tricks are placed on the board in a scryed visible state where X is the level of the edge. It's not a random. It's not a random number of scryed cards. It's just X random cards. So it's not 1 through 2. It's not 1 through 2 cards are scryed. It's 2 cards are scryed, and those cards are random. I think I'm reading that way. Is that correct? There are edges which say a value of 1 through X, where X is the level of the edge. This does not say that, so I don't think it works that way. Anyway, this is Ace of Swords. It's a 9. We have a 9 and a Knight, so I don't feel the urge to take this right away. This is something we have in our back pocket if we want to win this challenge. If we've already won this challenge, or we flip over like a King of Swords, and then I'm forced to make a decision right then and there if I want to win this challenge or lose it with only a 1 failure for the target number. King of Pentacles. Well, there goes our Queen. That's a shame. Ace of Pentacles. 7 of Wands. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty. 4 of Cups. We'll go ahead and win this challenge. We'll take the 4. 9. And then we'll take the Ace with our Knight. And we win. 8 over. We're drawing, I think it's 5 cards. You slip into a trance, and the words take shape in your mind. You are face to face with an ancient eldritch creature of terrifying power, and its name is unpronounceable. It is, however, trapped in the bas-relief. It wants to strike a bargain with you. A quest. 5 picks available. So we had 6, I think. Alright, so, well, viewer, I like picking around the quest card. 2 sanity. 1 experience point. The bas-relief face seems to almost be smiling at you, and it makes you uneasy. The smile belies the agony that it must be in. The mumbling's meaning now seems crystal clear. Its heart has been ripped from it and hidden somewhere in the house. The sorcery binding it cannot be broken until its heart is returned to it. It wants you to seek out the wall that weeps blood, and reach inside to find and free its heart. It teaches you the words of release and promises you that you will be rewarded should you help free it from the face. Well, we know where that is. That's right over here. But I don't remember what it takes to get the heart out of the wall. I think it's Cups and Wands. So we'll want a point of Cups before we actually try to get that heart out. That's such a shame. I'm so mad that doesn't work. Okay, so we got a point of experience. Level Pentacles. Or rather, begin to put another experience point towards increasing our Pentacles 1 point. Another hallway, so we didn't need to unlock this door. No! Oh, no! We'll talk about this encounter after we read about it. You've come face to face with a green ooze. You didn't even notice it at first. It sticks to the ceiling, hidden in the shadows, waiting in ambush. Suddenly, it drops to the floor with a sickening, squishing sound and forms up in front of you. You feel a rush of adrenaline-fueled fear sweep over you. This love experiment gone bad could mean the end of you. Horror check. I'll play the... Ooh, it's a 5 target number. Is there a Page of Swords up here? I don't think there is. I don't think there is. So we'll play the Knight. Take the 3 with our 4, and we've won the challenge. Oh, there is a page up here, but it's a Page of Cups, which a Knight of Cups can take. Your mind is strong. Usually things far worse than this. You're part of the team that hunted down, they eliminated the Lab 257 scientists, after all. You thought that the last of these Lab 257 experiments had been hunted down and destroyed. It seems that you were wrong. Try to recall the warnings from the briefings. The creature will likely try to suffocate you by enveloping you in its amorphous slimy tissues. So let's talk about the encounter first. This type of encounter first. This is one of 2 encounters which occur in a hallway. Always guaranteed, to my recollection, to be here. But you don't need to take this hallway to make it to the other side. Well, you might, to explore the things that are on the other side of it. But it also used to be an encounter where if you defeated the encounter, it would... would it stay there for this encounter? No, I don't think it did. No, okay, so I'm lying. I know this encounter can occur in hallways. It can be in the second floor, the attic, or the ground floor. I don't know why. Hold on, viewer. I don't know why I'm explaining this. I guess I'm explaining my knowledge about the game's events or encounters, and you guys probably don't care. So let's not get into the nitty-gritty of it instead. Normally, we would only be able to attack the green ooze or flee from it. I added this as a potential solution to the encounter, to freeze it with a spell. Now, I would want one more pentacles before I try this for one more trick. It's an okay chance for us to win. If we flee and fail, or fight and fail, this becomes a lot worse for us. This is an encounter which can instantly kill you if you fail the first attempt to flee or fight. So I better be sure of this. 2 target number with 4 tricks and 4 draw for fleeing. Or 7 target number with 5 tricks and 6 draw for fighting. I really would want 1 more pentacles, so I'm going to flee. This isn't a battle that you want to fight right now when you decide to get away and fight another day. Oh no. Okay, so we've got only number cards in our hand. They're okay number cards, but this doesn't bode well. We won. We barely won, but we did win. Oh, thank God. This could have ended Doctor Whom right now. Oh, I forgot to change his face when I remade the character. It is too late. This is our new Doctor Whom. All right. You turn to run, and the creature lunges at you, but it's too late, and you are safely away. Never flip over flee cards. I think we'll go down this way. We'll check this room and unlock this door to get out of this hallway and back to this side. And we did end up on this spot, so we could have ventured up in this direction instead. But I might be committing to even more dangerous things up ahead, and I'd rather be able to circle back around and check out the other side of the house. We have a map, by the way. This is where we'll go on this side after we explore this room. We can... Ooh, what the heck happened there? We can double back as well and see what this quest involves for us to take the heart. The boxing match. Okay, we're not ready for this. So, and the event to do it is right here. We'll come back for this later. Or we could maybe do the very beginning. This is or can be a longish event. You will fight 3 ghosts in a ring psychically. You need decent wands and pentacles to succeed at that, if I recall correctly. Maybe it's cups and pentacles. In any case, I don't want to do this at the moment. Let's pick the lock. Okay, so you examine the lock mechanism and decide that you just might know how to finesse it open. A heads up that I added another option to this to use magic to try to get through the locked doors, which was going to be swords and pentacles. But even though I added it into the game, I could not get the game to unlock the door. So, I had to remove it. Oh, it's good. It's good for us in that we have a King of Pentacles and a Knight of Wands, but only 4 tricks are on the board. Wait, isn't this a puzzle or perception? I thought this was a lock or perception check. Well, we still win. Let's talk about locked doors really quick. Locked doors have a chance as a reward to give you a Aura of Fortune or an Ill Omen. If you fail, Ill Omens might show up. If you win, Aura of Fortune show up. If it's a low lock number, I might be willing to fail the challenge to win with a higher target value, like I win better than just over the target number by 2 points, in the hopes I can draw more cards and get an Aura of Fortune. I'm gambling, though, that I won't get a Ill Omen for doing that. But we will win this challenge and proceed onward. Oh, looks like it was good we did. We can take the 6 with our 7. And we can take that 6 with our king in order to draw 7 cards. The lock opens. You were just as talented with the lock as you thought. That's an interesting statement. You could also say, the lock remains shut. You are just as talented with the lock as you thought. Anyway, the mechanism clicks and you turn the knob to open the door. Okay, that's 2 more experience points. So let's increase our pentacles by 1. When you complete one of these lines, you get a new line. It's always the same, so in so much that if we had done this on a different character on a different day, we would have earned a Persuasion, Deception, Edge upgrade here as the next thing we could put points towards. I'm going to next begin going for another skill card. Do we save the game? I think we saved the game as well. With this pentacle, we can also probably talk with the big game hunter ghost. Let's do that. Oh, unless he wants swords or cups. But we'll try. No, he wants swords or cups. Let's run. Oh, it's not a good. It isn't good. Okay, we still win. Our first random fight. Zombies. You have come face to face with the living dead. Slow, ponderous, and mindless, zombies are still not to be underestimated. They can overwhelm you with numbers and be feasting on your entrails before you know it. Despite having dispatched quite a few of these undead automatons, they still creep you out. That's actually a pretty difficult... Ooh, horror check. We have a miserable hand with the exception of a Queen of Wands. Nothing higher than a 4 for all our other cards. So we are we're probably not passing this. We are passing it. Your mind is strong. You think things far worse than this. You finally remember your last mission with Officer Rick. It was utter zombicide. Zombies. You hate these guys. Or girls. Or both. This place certainly knows how to keep you on your toes. Just don't build a summer house here. Normally, you have to fight them or flee them. I added the option to use sorcery, and it looks like the game's making this tougher for us. The difficulty of this challenge is always when I added encounters, they're always the same as the difficulty encounters that were there originally, which means that this was set to be a 6 difficulty, not a 9. The game, though, wants this to be tougher, as increased this to be a 9, adding 3 points to this. That's how the balancer works in this game, which I hate. Anyway, I think we will use sorcery as we draw more tricks and draw more cards, despite it being 1 higher in target number. You begin to invoke Wither, which should hopefully reduce these creatures to dust. Not a good hand. Not terrible, though. 2 pages, a 10 and a 9. Then we have a 2 and a 6. 5 of swords. We have a 10 of swords to place on you. King of Wands. You can get our 2 of Wands. 3 of Cups. Can get our page, and we've won the challenge. 3 of Swords. 8 of Wands. The only thing that our page can't take that the 9 can is a 10. This is likely, odds are against this being the 10. And it was not. Nice, we won very, very handily too. 5 over target number. It was tricky, but you managed to get all 3 within the confines of the spell. It helps that they were the slow type of zombies rather than the fast type. Sometimes I've noticed that when we win a challenge, almost every single card we flip over is a good card. I don't know why it does this, but I'm really grateful when it does. Okay, so we've earned some life there and some sanity, and another point of experience. What does it take to... It is cups. Oh, but we have a fantastic chance to get it. Our target number is only 1. With 4 tricks and 6 draw, we're going to try it. You realize immediately that this is the weeping wall of which the bastardly face spoke. You force back your feelings of unease and thrust your hand into the large bloody rent in the wall and search for the heart within. It is a perception encounter, so we should get 2 scryed cards. But we only get one because Vic's game is busted. And we fail. You feel your way into the bloody gash and grope around. Something grabs your hand with a tremendous force and you instinctively try to pull it away. After a spastic struggle, you finally manage to free it. Your hand is still there, but it's a bloody mess. Ugh. Oh, I'm always nervous when I fail one of these. We'll try it again. Well, much worse hand. No face cards. A 6 of swords is revealed, but we've got no swords cards in hand, so we're likely failing this too. I'm going to risk this because I want to win with more than just 1 point over the target number. Which I'm not doing. I'm going to fail this again. Oh, I'm so nervous. It's only one card, but I'm so nervous flipping that one card over. I don't like this. Ugh. I lost a hit point. Do this again. Nope. Please give me a good hand. Game. Do this again. Okay. King of Swords, Queen of Pentacles. If we can play either of those, it would be useful. We're gonna win this one. Oh, well, that's all we get. That's all we get there. So that's a shame. You guide your hand deeper and deeper into the wall until you are well past your elbow. You try and feel for the rhythmic vibration of the heart and move your hand towards it. Suddenly you feel something hard and crystal-like. You utter the words of release and then grab it and wrench it free. 2 of our rewards are taken by the quest reward card and the black heart card, which we must take. We got nothing else. The black heart card is an item and goes in our item inventory. When cards are in your inventory, that includes, by the way, these 2, both items like a toolkit or a flashlight, or the ability to think faster, they cost inventory spots. The number of spots they take is indicated by this large number you see down here, these 1s. We have 2 of 4 inventory spots consumed currently for our wands. Your maximum number is based on your stat over here. The wands, the cups black heart we just picked up, is actually also gives us a -1 cups penalty as long as it's in our inventory. So we want to get rid of this as soon as possible. So we're going to go back to the face and give it to him. Okay, let's do it. The Master Leaf face seems to almost be smiling at you, and it makes you uneasy. Wait, did we read this already? We already read this already. Complete quest. As you near the face with the heart, the mumbling grows to a furious pitch. It wants it now. It demands that you place the heart in its mouth. You can barely restrain itself as you fight to keep your thoughts clear. So, the reward you get for this is a random edge of some sort. The quest will be... The edge will be called, like, listens to mumbles or something of that sort, but what the edge gives you is randomly chosen. You can betray the face if you'd like, and you get to keep the heart instead. And the reward for the heart is also randomly chosen from amongst things that you can get. But you better succeed at this if you fail. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time with the results of this. Now, this is a deception edge, and our character can try to do that. The heart would also sit in our cup's inventory, I think, as an item. I think we'll just complete the quest. The chains of sorcery are broken. You pull out the heart and place it into the mouth of the bastardly face. It seems to gulp it down as you quickly pull your hand back. The sorcery is dispelled with an agonizing scream that issues from the mouth of the bastardly face, and you sense that it is too eager to seek vengeance, to stay and do you any harm. It also seems to have even kept its word. Mumbled Wisdom. During the challenge of any lore challenge, 1 is subtracted from the target level at the start of the challenge. Oh, that's all we got. Should have kept the heart. We're not going here again. That green slime is just too dangerous. I don't want to do this quite yet. Not till we have a cups. We can't get the quest here. I'm not ready to... The rewards for this are can be very nice. You can get Arcana cards or other spells or other nice things from this. But that means we want to win with a high target number. That means we don't want to do this until we have... We could do it now with 4 Pentacles and 4 Wands, but I would want one more of each of those before I attempt it. Or an Arcana card in our hand so we can get a guaranteed victory here. So we'll come back to that in the future as well. We're not really... Well, we could try lockpicking the door. If you fail to lockpick the door here, though, a trap's going to go off, and that would be nasty. I think we go over to the other side of the ground floor. Come back to that side later. I have a bad feeling about this little hallway. Okay, it was just a bad feeling. An office. What's in this office? An encounter's in this office. The Demon in the Fire. You see a large marble fireplace decorated with an ornate sculpture. But what really astonishes you is the fire burning within the hearth. The flames dance around and lick the walls of the fireplace, almost as if it was some type of living entity. Then it strikes you. A demonic face appears in the flames, and the sudden realization that this creature has noticed you sends a wave of horror rolling over you. You struggle to keep calm and not give in to panic. Lots of mispronunciations on my part there. You're looking straight in the face of some type of flaming evil horror. It seems to dominate your mind, and you know that you must not let that happen. This is a fantastic hand. Holy crap. Almost nothing but face cards. And a 2 of swords. Alright, let's see if we can play any of these. Take this in with our page. And we can only take 1 of them. Okay, so we can take this 8. Your will is stronger than this evil creature of flame. You force it out of your mind and hold on to your sanity. The face in the fire smiles at you. This demonic creature must have been bound to the fireplace. How long ago and by whom are questions that you cannot answer. You gradually step forward so that you can examine the situation in more detail. The demon seems contained within the hearth, but you have no idea how strong his binding there is. We have a good chance to bargain with it. It is a quest giver. Let's do it. Something strange is going on here. You sense the opportunity to communicate with the demon and perhaps figure out how it was bound here and for what purpose. Finally, we get 2 scryed cards. The text of the card must... So it does work. I wonder why we get 1 sometimes. I'm guessing it chooses a number between 1 and X is what's going on here. In any case, we can't really do anything about that 3 of Cups because we only have an Ace and a 2. The Knight of Swords, though, we have the Queen of Swords for. So we can wait to play her until we draw another 3. So there's a 6 of Wands. We can take... Oh, we could have taken the 3 with our 7. Okay, well, it's good we scryed both of these. Let's take that 6. Okay, and then we take the Knight. Using the lost sign language of Chaldash to establish contact with the demon. The demon states that it was recently bound here by an acolyte claiming to serve some dark master. It is clear that the demon thought the human insane and dabbling in things that were way over his head. The acolyte somehow managed to find a list of demonic names and binding rituals in some forgotten tome. The demon says that the acolyte would write them on small enchanted slips of paper. He believes his own name to be in the acolyte's pocket. He perished a few short hours ago where he foolishly attempted to summon and bind another demon but got the slips of paper mixed up. Find the acolyte's body, then bring the name of the demon, and he will reward you. Alright guys, we were playing for an hour, so I think we will stop here. Not bad for a start. I think we lived. We're not down life insanity. And we leveled our pentacles once. I'm willing to accept that. That's good. That's very good. And hopefully, things will continue to be good as we go forward. So I'll see you guys in the next one, perhaps. Thank you all for watching, and take care, everyone.